All right, folks, we are back. Full squad this week, bit of a special episode as well. We have Andrew Slattery, a piece with Andrew Slattery in here. Just talking about Sharjah and what his plans are for the rest of the year. So we'll let you watch that first before we kick into the Dundalk preview. Right, folks, we are absolutely delighted to be joined by jockey Andrew Slattery. Andrew, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on here today.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for having me.
Andrew, look, Sharjah was an absolute legend at Dundalk. How big of a character was he in the yard for you?
Yeah, well, look, I suppose I was late enough getting into the racing game. Sharjah was always there. So he's kind of always been teaching young riders no matter what, and so that's kind of what he's renowned for.
Yeah. And have you a favourite memory, I suppose, of him?
I suppose you went back to 2017, the 15th of December, my first win was aboard Sharjah, so that's one that sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
And one I'll never forget.
So he's always going to have a special power in your heart?
Oh, well, look, it's not just me, it's everyone, everyone in the yard, and my dad and my uncles own him, and they're running my uncle's wife's colours, and Sharjah's always been known for running in the blue colours.
Yeah. What's next for him now, I suppose, now that he has retired? Is he going to be in the farm or the yard?
No, actually, look, I was hoping to have somewhere to take him, but I don't yet. But he's going up to a girl up the north of Ireland. She's going to use him as a riding horse. So he'll have an easy life, as well as another horse of ours that's up there called Sharjah. He'll make him into a lovely riding horse because he's very quiet and he's well mannered. So he'll enjoy that.
Yeah, so he's going to have a nice, sweet, relaxing life after racing.
And look, he deserves it. He deserves it. He's at those runs, and
how many runs has he had? 153 or something, isn't it?
I think it was 154 after last night. Yeah.
Big. That's some servant to the yard, though, isn't
it? He's a legend, and he's never been lame, and he's never gave any hassle or got sick of the game. He's always went out and tried his best.
Yeah, he's one that every owner would kind of want to have as their horse, like.
Yeah, well, look, that's what we were saying. Where do you find a horse to replace him?
Yeah, you're probably never gonna. Like, it's a horse of a lifetime, really.
Yeah, well, look, he is the horse of a lifetime because he could go to Dundalk every Friday on a good surface like that, and he'd never get jarred up or pull out of the stable unsound after a race, and he'd always bounce out the morning after and clear his feed, and he'd be delighted with himself.
Yeah, is it going to be weird now seeing an empty box there where he used to be?
Yeah, well, look, he's had the same stable all his life.
Yeah.
So I don't know what horse is going to be put into that stable now.
Big boots to fill anyway. Then just moving on to yourself really quickly, Andrew. Do you have any plans for the remainder of the season or the year or even?
Yeah, well, look, I was looking to go back to America again, but with the whole virus and getting a visa, it's gone a bit more difficult. So hopefully I can get to somewhere different, maybe run up to Christmas or after Christmas, hopefully Dubai or something, just to get out and learn a bit more and just see a bit of the world as well as that.
Yeah, also get away from the Irish weather. It's always a nice thing to do. You're already away.
Exactly.
And then just finally from us, Andrew, just for the followers more than anything, is there anything that maybe they should be keeping an eye on for Dundalk?
Well, look, to be totally honest with you, I haven't had too much to look at it. I just arrived here out on holidays yesterday, and I said I'll sit down and watch the racing tomorrow night, but I haven't really been keeping a close eye on it.
Yeah, so nothing really to be keeping an eye on throughout the winter.
Look, I was third on a nice filly for our own yard last week called Independent Expert, and she was just unlucky to run into two smart fillies, and I think she could be one to keep an eye out for.
Lovely. That's it from us. Well, Andrew, thank you very, very much for joining us.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for having me. Pleasure.
Right then, lads, let's get into the actual preview bit of it now. First race, Dean, long absentee. You might as well kick us off.
Jesus, no pressure at all then. The river runs deep. Last time out won her Shimmy Heffernan rode it last time out, up £8. They've got Paddy Harnett on board now, taking 7 off. So actually just makes it £1 worse off. The time figures actually was pretty good for that one last time out over 5 furlongs. Drawn well. He's not drawn well. The draw is the only concern. And it's on there at 11-4. The other one that I would think it might be a danger is that Relatin Fancy.
Yeah. I was actually torn between that one there and the one I've gone for, no speed limit. Sam Ewing's claiming £5 on this. Look, I thought he ran very well on Wednesday, but just failed in the final furlong. I think the step down to 5 furlongs here is going to help something massive. A similar run, in my eyes, would be enough now to see him win here, but, you know, I'm happy to go with him with Ewing's £5 claim. Also, he's in stall 4 as well. It's a nice plus. 7-4. Alan?
Yeah, Dean mentioned the other one. I'm going to go for Israel Teen Fantasy. 4-10 last time out behind Collective Power. Thought was a very good run. Pressed the leaders inside the final furlong. Then was very one-paced. This is only a fourth start from the all-weather. Dropped £4 by the handicapper since the last run. Alan Power's going to take 7 off. Look, a nice draw in stall 2. In around 8-1. Probably good each way for me in this race.
Yeah. Moving on to the 4:30 1 mile 4, lads. I have gone for Ado McGuinness's Lily of the Glen at 9-2. Keane McRedmond's riding that. Look, ran a brilliant race last time, was second behind Limit Long. Outran Rods really that day. She should run well again here. Steps back up to 1 mile 4. Was only raised a pound for that second place last time out. It'll be her third run for Ado, and he seems to have got it right now. So 9-2, quite happy with that.
I'll take a chance on Clan Jock here, 6-1. Creditable third last time out under the same jockey as tomorrow, Dean Kern. Dundalk Street is probably the danger in my eyes, but I definitely think Clan Jock could be, worth each way, even there at 6-1. Time wise, I was checking out the times of the last couple of races there. Of the main dangers there, and Clan Jock is in line or in the same kind of time bracket as some of them there. So there's not much splitting them. So maybe just rub of the green on the night. Clan Jock might do it.
Yeah, look, I'm going to put up my old favourite Maccaban City. The big thing here, the Visor's going to be back on. Look, he's alone to himself, this horse. We all know that. He's slow away from the stalls, but he comes home with a rattle. Fifth to Pickpool last time out. Pickpool has gone on and won since. The faster the pace is probably the better for this horse. He's going to come probably out wide and come home. 11-1, I've seen this floating about. I'm happy to play that each way.
Yeah. Moving on to the 5 o'clock, lads. I am going for Pro Bono at 5-1. Going for a Keane McRedmond double here. Yeah, I've enjoyed watching this one actually this season. He's ran 3 good races, a 5th, a 6th, and a win. Look, he's stepping up in trip here too, so I'm quite interested to see what happens. 5-1, I'm quite happy to play with that.
I'm going to go for Lady of Luxury, an old favourite of mine from last year. He's actually 1 pound below her last one in Mark. Sorry. Alan Pearce on board again. Looks hasn't been up to much recently, but if she can get back into form off the same kind of reduced mark, I'd say she could go on a wee run again and produce a couple again like last year. It's on around 7-1. Again, not great value for each way, but at the end of the day, you want to take a chance each way, cover yourself.
Yeah, look, I'm going to follow the form line from Maccaban City through on to Darren Law in this race. Third last time out behind Pickpool and Power Drive. Now that form's stacking up. Power Drive ran well again this week. Look, if Maccaban City happen to pop up, then Darren Law I can see being a lot shorter than what he is now. 8's into 13-2, I've seen already. Ridden by Mikey Sheehy here. It's going to have a nice draw in stall 6. There's not much more to say about it. I think she's probably going to improve from her last run. She'll be bang there at the finish, but there's plenty in with a chance in this race.
Yeah. Alan, do you want to kick us off in the half 5?
Yeah, look, this is probably one of the easier selections for me in the night. Chaos Control trained by Andy Oliver. Impressed me the last time out when getting the better Holy Divine in Yorkhill. Gone up £7 for that run, but one very, very snug. Nice drawn stall two. Look, the sales are running wheeling. I think it's a matter of just dropping it in, produce it, and it should go away and win nicely.
Yeah, Alan, I'll just take one that you mentioned there as well, Holy Divine. I just think, might be slightly better off at the weights this time round. But in saying that, fillies are hard to get a grasp of sometimes. You'd like to think she could be able to put her head down, go forward now when she's getting a wee bit more weight off Chaos Control to bring her into contention. She's in around 10 to 1 shot. We know she ran the favourite close last time out. It might be worth each way again.
Yeah, Alan, I'm going with you on this one. Chaos Control is 6-4. We were actually there that last day that he beat Holy Divine, and he was 4-7 on, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think he was deserved favourite then and deserved favourite again here. Probably the bet of the night for me. Moving on to the 6 o'clock, lads. The 1 mile. I am going for Sisney at 15 to 2. John McConnell and Ben Cohen. This is probably going to be my each way of the night. It's the biggest price I think I have here. Look, Joseph looks to have quite a smart filly in this race, so I am going to play it safe and go with Sisney. Look, been quite good in the past. Was 5th last time out to Eglish, who finished 4th that day. Well, Eglish didn't win that day, but has since come on and won, so it's a bit of a boost on the form. I am going to go each way 15 to 2. I think it's a great price.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go in McAlvert, Ronan Whelan, and Joe Porte, if that is how it's pronounced. Caught the eye last time out in its second run, finished in second. A stable normally does well around Dundalk. I noticed an interview with McAlvert a couple of weeks back in Racing TV where he was saying he doesn't have a strong squad. So definitely, I think he sends up's probably worth taking a note of. It's 13 to 8 there. Not great value on it, but at the end of the day, if it's a winner, it's always good value.
True.
Yeah. Look, lads, you probably know I follow the barrier trails. Now, Kevin Prendergast in the runner here, Daisy Jones. She actually disappointed me last time out after landing the barrier trail the time before. She's going to be drawn 14 here. Shouldn't be much of an issue over a mile. I think she might be able to slot in. If she comes on plenty for that run, now I thought there might be a wee bit of money around for tonight. She's actually gone the other way. She's gone 13 to 2 out to 15 to 2. She'll have to overturn the form with Goodred in this race, but I think Goodred's beginning to look exposed. Again, Daisy Jones each way in around 15 to 2, 8 to 1.
Yeah, Alan, what about the half 6? You come on the scene?
Yeah, same thing for me, Ryan, following that barrier trail form again. Chicago Leighton and Johnny Mortis. I'm actually very surprised by the price. I thought there would be a lot closer with Brustig in this. Cost 100,000 at Hatter Souls in October 2020. Finished 8th in the barrier trail, where stablemate Tarnova and Navaggio finished 1st and 2nd. Now, the form of that trail has actually worked out really well. It doesn't look the strongest race. This filly hasn't been seen for 100 days, but it's notable that Johnny's going here rather than somewhere else to try and get a win out of her. I would say she'll give the favourite plenty to think about this race.
Yeah, Alan, I'm in agreement with you. I think it'll be interesting to see if Johnny Morton makes the trip up or not. Like I said, this one was 100,000 as a yearling, and I am just going to avoid the odds on favourite at all costs. I think absolutely bound to have a chance and an interesting debutant. Dean, I think.
Lads, I had wrote down Brosnick or Joseph's filly. But when I see the price at 2 to 7, like I'll not be having much of a say in that. Like, the only thing I think that's making her that short of odds on is she ran second behind Henry de Bromhead's good filly there. That's fancied for the 1,000 guineas next year, is it, Alan? Yeah, like that's maybe the only reason she's that short, but that's too short for Dundalk. So there's definitely value to be had somewhere else. I'll have to skip that.
Yeah. We'll move on to the 7 o'clock. It's quite an interesting race. I am going to go for Misha 13-8. Macaulay and Sam Ewing. He's claiming £5 on this one. Look, this is one of my personal favourites in racing in general, but seems to have really got the hang of things recently, and was really on a fantastic string of form recently. Anyway, I'd be surprised if he wasn't competing come the line. And look, you could probably do worse bets than the reverse forecast of him and Sister Lola. Macaulay 1-2. It's on the cards. Like, Sister Lola's in great form as well. Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, well, I've gone for Sister Lola. Just because she's a firm favourite of mine. She's ultra consistent. She's always bang there. She loves it around Dundalk. So does Hilltop. They love Dundalk. Shane Foley keeps the faith with her. Drawing stall 2. Look, she's probably due her head in front again. 15-2 there. I see. She could be having a few quid on something else, like if you wanted, but I definitely think she's ultra consistent and worth the value.
Yeah, look, I the minute the prices came out for this race, I had to take a wee bit of 2-1 Misha. I thought that price would go, and it has gone very quick. It's down to 13-8. Really impressed last time out, got the better brushwork with 3/4 of a length. Now, just reading on IrishRacing.com, James McCauley quoted after the race that the horse is getting quicker with the more racing, and he'd rather go down to 5 furlongs than up to a mile. Now, look, staying at 6 here, there's likely going to be, he's going to force the pace. He's gone up £6 for victory last time out. I'd say he'll get in front again, and I think he'll have all his rivals in trouble very early.
Yeah, I think the race going to be one loss at the start if Misha goes out in front. I think it could be over.
Yeah, I'd set it up for Sister Lola. You never know.
Possibly.
The fast pace. She likes to come from off the pace.
Yeah, she's good style. Moving on to the 7:30, 2 mile Belgo Prince for me. 9-2 win. Lorden's riding this one. Look, we last seen him run at Cheltenham. How many horses do you actually see run at Cheltenham and then their next outing will be Dundalk? That's not the reason I'm picking him. I like Belgo Prince because of his last flat run, which was at Navan. He ran a blinder there in a big field over 1 mile 6. And look, I think a replication of that could be on the cards here. 9-2, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Can't say much more on it. Tony Martin's stable have been firing out a few winners recently. Alan, myself and yourself probably noted them the last time we were all at Dundalk. Tudor City ran second and then hacked up then Leopardstown after, and there's been a few more. Tony Martin's come out and won. Look, you could be doing anything in this race, but if you want to follow a bit of form, stable and good form, Belgo Prince, as Ryan states, 9-2, good value.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go for a James McCauley double in the last 2 races on the card. I'm going to up Dalby here in around 10-1. Shane Foley going to have his first spin on this horse, and I think probably the step up and trip up the 2 mile is going to really, really suit. We were up there. We seen the size of this horse. He has his own little house. He needs plenty of room for manoeuvre, and I think Dundalk and this trip's going to be right up the street. I think if he gets rolling down the straight, I think he's the one with the big stride. He'll be staying on. He's run over hurdles. He recently ran at Laytown. He's going to be tough to keep out of frame in around 10-1, and he'll be one staying on late and fast.
Yeah, and lads, not next best each way at Dundalk.
Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, look, I'll nap up Chaos Control. I think he's going to take plenty of beating. My next best is going to be Chicago Leighton in the 6:30 for Johnny Morta. And then my each way is my old mate Macaban City. I think he'll be storming home down the outside.
Yeah, I'm going to nap up the same one as you on Chaos Control. My next best is going to be No Speed Limit in that first race. And my each way is going to be John McConnell Sisney at 15-2.
My nap will go River Runs Deep. Each way, probably Holy Divine in the 5:30. 10-1, good value in it. And next best, we'll go for Lady of Luxury at 7-1.
What race that one in?
The 5 o'clock.
Lovely. Lads, anything about the weekend? Anything you fancy?
Yeah, just follow it up, Ryan, from where we left off. Dean wasn't with us on I think it was Tuesday we done the preview when we talked about Honeysuckle. Dean, just your opinion on Honeysuckle and Hatton's Grace at the weekend.
Sorry, Alan, I didn't catch that.
What's your opinion on Honeysuckle going for 3 in a row in the Hatton's Grace? Do you think she takes plenty of beating?
That's a great question. If you'd asked me that probably 3 weeks to a month ago when Henrys were kind of taking their first run, I probably would have thought, she needs a run under beforehand before meeting some of them. But having seen the way Absolute Tire came out and absolutely hosed up, I would say the main horses are probably in good order. Not saying that any of Henry's other horses aren't main horses, but you know what I mean, that the real superstars have probably worked themselves fit. I would love to see her do it. At the same time, as probably followers know, we would love to see Sky Ace putting in a good performance, maybe an each way shot. I would have loved to be in attendance. I really would have, but the way things are working out with work, just can't get. But it's going to be a fantastic weekend of racing.
Yeah, just something just to follow up as well. I've been reading a few articles just going into it, and it was Gordon Elliott's come out and said Abacadabras, he's happy to take Honeysuckle on. Shark Hanlon with Sky Ace, he's looking for a good run. Ronald Pump's connections, they think they're a good run. I think there might be a lot of connections going here, thinking they can lower the colours of Honeysuckle, and it's going to turn out to be a hell of a race.
Nobody's lowered them yet, so it'll be a tough ask.
Yeah, it's the step up and trip we talked about this last time. Step back up to that Hatton's Grace trip. That is worrying me the biggest. Ronald Pump being such good there, like.
Yeah, I said that to you the other night. I just think she won over it last year. She's in receipt of weight. She's only getting shorter on the bet, and she was 8 to 11 opening middle of the week. She's gone 4 to 7. She could easily be 2 to 5 by the time the race goes off. She's not a betting proposition, but just looking at one other race. We all know we follow the Claderia for Henry as well. So Rachel's going to make the trip over to Newbury for what was known as the Hennessy. That's definitely one to keep an eye on over the weekend. And I don't know if you lads have anything else that you spotted that you want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, there's one for me. The 12:30 in Ferryhouse on Saturday. Epps on the Who is running. As you know, I'm a big fan of that horse and won well last time out, which was seasonal reappearance. So I am looking forward to seeing that one go.
So it's the Henry Trixie over the weekend. Honeysuckle, Epps on the Who, and the Claderia.
You could do a lot worse bets, couldn't you?
I'd say you could.
And lads, finally, anything about Sharjah?
Yeah, well, I got done for a little bit of clickbait on again IrishRacing.com saying Sharjah was an ex-stablemate of Faheen until I actually read the story to see that Slattery's actually did have Faheen in a point-to-point before, so I got caught lovely with that and was ready to put in a little comment. So they got me nicely, but it's a good story. And look, Sharjah's been a bit of a warrior around Dundalk, and he'll definitely be missed over the winter months. Yeah,
100%, absolute trooper, and it's great to have Andrew on there earlier. Yeah, Alan, you can finish us off. You know these 3 words.
Yeah, like, follow, and subscribe.